Okay, so today we continue with our class Laws of Shabbos. Today is class number 65. And we start with Sefer Shmiras Lashon. So today's topic is keep your distance. The anguish one will experience in the next world for having sat in a company of gossipers can be better understood with a parable. Okay. A group, so it's exactly what we spoke about yesterday, right? About the loss of Rambam. So it says that clearly it is forbidden to sit in, with the gossipers, right? A group of men were enjoying each other's company when police suddenly appeared to arrest one of them, a man of ill repute, for allegedly having committed a crime. Right, so it was one criminal. They arrested him and everybody. Right, the man was led off in chains and brought before the authorities, who interrogated him thoroughly. Seeing how the accused steadfastly maintained his innocence, the authorities ordered that all those who were with him at time of his arrest be taken into custody as well. They too were subjected to the intense interrogation in a hope that at least one of them would provide information which would prove the accuser's accused guilt. So basically, here's the thing, right? So the parable is there were a good group of people. They arrest one of them. They suspected that he committed some crime. He did not confess. So now they arrested everyone. I think we used similar example yesterday. These men were all aware that they themselves were not being accused of any wrongdoing, yet they experienced deep regret for having associated with accused. So now they have to take a day off, like technically, right, from work and go to this to the court and be like interrogated by the prosecutor. Had they kept distance from him, they would not have suffered the humiliation, intimidation, and fear to which they were subjected. Okay, so basically, if they would keep away from that person, the life would be much better, right? But now they have to go to the court one time, two times, I don't know how many times. When in the end that they were released unharmed, they made sure never again associate with that individual. How careful must be to avoid the gossipers. When one feels his resolve weakening, out of fear of being labeled as an outcast, he should tell himself, it is enough that I will have to stand judgment for my own sins. Neither suffer for the sins of the others as well. As somebody asked us a question yesterday, right? Somebody. So if you like among all of the people, right? You are at the Shabbos table, and you see these people start talking Lashon Hara, right? And even if person you don't know who they're talking about. 1 second, let me. So we said it does not make any difference. So you're still not allowed to stay there, right? In this company. Okay. Shalom Aleichem Israel. Okay. Let's continue. All right. So we continue our laws of Shabbos. Today we continue with the Milacha of building. And since we did only one page, and we have our friend Abraham who joined us, so let me start from the beginning. It's only like a few things. It would be beneficial for everybody to overview. So we have 39 milachas, right? That the activities that are forbidden to do on Shabbos. And now we're going to discuss the melacha of building, which is boneh. Okay, so let's go. Number one, av melach. Boneh, building, is one of the 39 avos melachas that are prohibited on Shabbos. Building was performed in the Mishkan when the walls were assembled. Right, so as we said last time, so the walls around the court of the of the base of the Mishkan itself, right? And walls around of the of the Holy of Holies, Kodesh HaKadosh, right? So that's the walls that were like assembled together. So there were big planks, separate planks, and they would put them together. Okay, continue. Definition: Boneh, building, can loosely defined as the bringing together of the individual components to form a larger whole. For example, the joining of beams and planks to form a structure. However, from the halachic standpoint, it includes numerous other activities, as well as will be explained below. So basically, bottom line, right? So summary, not bottom line, but summary. So building, when you take separate components and combine them together, and whether they are loosely attached or tightly attached it's going to play a big role in halakha. Okay, so continue. By the way, Abraham, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop us whenever you need. So whenever you have questions, they have a what do we call it? Open question policy. So whenever, but we try to stick to the subject. But after the class, we have this like we give time to answer any questions you want, any topic. Okay. So part number 3: Torah and rabbinic prohibition. The Torah prohibition against building on Shabbos applies only to the result I apologize. Only where result is intended to be permanent. For example, when one constructs a permanent structure. However, the sages extended the prohibition to include acts of building that are intended to be temporary duration only. Right. So as we said last time, as with other malachas, so if it's not only if it's permanent, for example, writing, if somebody wrote with ink on a piece of paper or a piece of board, right, it is permanent, right? So it would be biblical. But if somebody wrote on a table with orange juice, right? He dipped the finger in the orange juice and wrote something. So it would be rabbinic prohibition. Okay, continue. Commentary. In the context of Shabbos laws, there is no absolute definition of permanent. So as we were learning about, I think the knots, right? And the knots, we said the knot that you tie the shoes with, right? So we said, well, what is permanent? Maybe it's one until the end of the Shabbos. Maybe it's 3 days. Then it was the most lenient opinion was 7 days until the next Shabbos, basically. Right? So it's permanent. So let's see. All depends upon the structure being built and the intention of the builder. However, since even an act of temporary building in any case places one in violation of rabbinic law, we have not elaborated here on the requirements of the permanence. So basically, as our rabbis say, even the temporary fixing or building is not allowed. So so what is the point for us to determine the permanent? But the parallel with the knots, it's very common for people to untie the knots. Like as we said, somebody tied their shoelaces, so he would untie them the same day. So it's not to be compared to this. Here they say if you, I don't know, whatever you did, so it would be more likely permanent. Okay, meaning that it's most likely, I would say, rabbinical, but we'll see. So it says, part number 4, activities included in melacha of building. It is common usage of the word building refers to the construction of a building, such as house or barn. So of course, when somebody sells building, so of course it's building a house, building an apartment, something like that. However, it is in a halachic sense, the term includes numerous activities that, while generally classed as building, are halachically classed as such. Generally not classed as building, halachically are classed as such. So as we said, even to connect to things right? The most common example that people give is you have a loose doorknob, so you're not allowed to tie this doorknob, right? Because you connected this doorknob to the door. That's the thing. Okay. Sorry. Here's the list of the activities prohibited under the Melacha of building. So now we're going to go through the list, but don't worry, as we're going to go in each of the categories with details. Okay, this is totally like summary highlights. A, improving the ground. B, building a structure. C, repairing or adding to a structure. D, assembling movable utensils. We will now elaborate on each of these different categories. A, improving the ground. Number one, leveling the ground. The Gemara in Shabbat 17:3b teaches that if one removes small amount of the earth from the floor on his house with the intention of making the floor level, he has violated the melacha of building. For by removing the mound, he has improved the floor for his house. Okay, so let's stop here and try to understand this example. So as we said, like in previous classes, so in olden days, they have earthen floor, right? And so when we said that it was forbidden for people to sweep. Why? Because it's normally like if the earthen floor is never even. So if you have a little mound, so it would make sense for you to make it like flat, and maybe you use this ground to fill some hole in the ground, right? So it would be clear violation of improving the ground. Go ahead.
Yeah, so over here, I hear what you're saying, that sweeping might cause that. But over here, they use an important word, which of his house with the intention of making the floor.
Yes. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. I didn't miss anything. So that's exactly what I said. So he has a mount and he has a hole. So he wanted to make it even floor.
So, but if
go ahead.
The intention to make it even, then it's okay to sweep the floor?
No, it's not. It's not. So it's for constructive purpose. So that's would be forbidden biblically. I give you an example, right? So you have a floor. Okay, we're lucky today. We have hardwood floor, like ceramic tile floor. It's perfectly leveled, right? But if you have this uneven floor, right, ground floor, and then you put a table, so the table is crooked. You understand? And everything would fall off, tilt off, right? So you want to level the ground, right? In general, right? You level the ground so you can the legs would put like evenly, stay evenly. You understand? So I mean, it's not like you build it inside of your living room, right? But you want to level the ground, so for this table, I think it makes sense. No, go ahead.
Yes. But what's called? It doesn't break any more malachas. For example, smoothing, maybe.
It could be smoothed. So in what sense, right? In olden days, they would since it is like earthen floor, it would be dusty, right? So they would sprinkle some water, right, and smooth it around. Exactly, yes. So of course it's going to be rabbinical, but all of these things. So, but since we're on this topic, right? So today there is no problem to sweep, as I think Israel asked us last time or time before. There is no problem to sweep today because I mean, with our brooms, we're not going to level our ground. Make sense?
Understood. Sure.
Okay. Yes. So Abraham, if you, I don't want to put you in the spot, but if you have any questions, please stop. No problem.
Are you talking about Shabbos law? Or?
Yeah, Shabbos law. Yes, Shabbos.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think.
Okay. All right, so continue. There are several activities that are prohibited on Shabbos because they include or might lead to the level of the ground. Some examples are sweeping or washing the floors and rolling a ball on the ground. These prohibitions are discussed at length in chapter 14, page 251. Okay, so so that's why we said that there is a it is prohibited to play with the ball on a grass, right? So if you want to play basketball, if you have nothing to do with your life, and so play on asphalt or some hard pavement or something, right? Not on the grass, because the ball, first of all, when it bounces, it's like when it bounces, it's level in the ground, right? And then sometimes people like would make the ground flat, like intentionally, not to have these holes in the ground. Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Very, very quickly, since you mentioned basketball, I want to ask you, what the Rambam says you should exercise for an hour. Would you advocate for basketball being one of those exercises or no?
I mean, whatever works for you. I mean, it's a person who was not designed by HaShem to sit the whole day on a chair. You understand? So unless you, Rabbi Eliashiv, and have this amazing merit to stay healthy even like this, so yes, you don't exercise. But if not, for all us regular people, so do whatever is good for you. There is no problem. But remember, it's not for you to be proficient in shooting the hoops, right? It's not. But for exercise, Hashem told me exercise. That's what I do. You know, just be healthy. Then this exercise is going to be a mitzvah. But if you want to be good in basketball, that is going to be following the ways of Goyim. That's the issue. So it could be from your intention. It could be mitzvah or aveda. So basically, up to you.
Understood.
Okay, no problem. Continue. So number 2, digging in the ground. One who digs on Shabbos because he wishes to create a hole, as opposed to one who digs to obtain the earth, has violated to Melach of building, even if the hole is very small. So let me read from the beginning, and we're going to explain. One who digs on Shabbos because he wishes to create a hole. So usually when you do the building, so you excavate, right? You for the base of the building, or if it's simple building, I don't know, like a little shed or something. So you dig the holes to put the poles, right? And then the whole structure is going to depend, like connected to the poles. So basically, they say digging even a small hole, right? As the point digging to obtain the earth, which is different. So here's again intention. So that's if you want to just to get earth, it's going to be. I think it's always also plowing, right? We will learn in Melach of plowing. What was it, Melach of plowing? That you take the earth and like flip it upside down. That's or on a side, basically. That's the Melach of plowing. So this person violates the Melach of building, even if the hole is very small. So okay, under the Torah law, digging is forbidden only if one digs to achieve the positive benefit. For example, because he wishes to use the hole for storage, or if the foundation of the house, as a foundation of the house. However, by rabbinic law, it is forbidden to dig even for non-beneficial purpose. Okay, so let's just summarize. So we said many times, biblical prohibition is only when you do something for a constructive purpose. Whatever your purpose, it doesn't matter. But if it's not for constructive purpose, for example, children, they have nothing to do, they're bored, and some of them would take, I don't know, a stick and start digging in a backyard. You understand? It's not for constructive purpose, but it's still forbidden rabbinically, right? All right, so continue. Any questions, or continue? Okay, no problem. Continue. B, building a structure. So first, so we finished A, which was improving the ground. So improving the ground is, as we said, maybe make it flat, or improving the ground, meaning to prepare it for a foundation, meaning the excavating for a base of the house, or may make it holes for I don't know, to put these poles, right? Continue. B, building a structure It is forbidden under the melacha of building to construct a structure upon the ground on Shabbos. So now, okay, so this is melacha is very different. It's not like you build it inside. So let's say the ground is ready. So now you put in something even not attached to the ground. Okay. This prohibition applies whether the structure is attached to the ground or simply lying upon it. Like I would say, you can have this like cement blocks or something, like put one on top of the other, even they're not attached, of course, but it's a melacha of building, or they attached to the ground, right?
Rabbi, when we say ground, we mean like, let's say I'm on the 3rd floor. Would that be ground, or we mean like the earth?
No, even on the 3rd floor, yes, absolutely.
Oh, got it. Oh.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. But okay, so let me just explain you. So you asking as usual advanced questions. So I'm not sure we're going to get to it, but just to a summary. So even if you're on the 3rd floor, right? But your 3rd floor is connected to the 2nd floor. 2nd floor connected to the 1st floor, and that connected to the basement. So now, even though you're doing on your 3rd floor, it's all connected to the ground. You understand? Very directly through all of these things.
So
okay.
when is it not connected to the ground? What?
Not connected to the ground. So when you have directly ground, and you start putting the bricks, right? So these bricks, they're not connected to the ground. But in your house, it because it has foundation, it connects to the ground exactly, mamish.
Okay, so let's say I built a house without a foundation, right? It's just laying on top, okay, on top of the ground.
Okay, so just standing, it's not like digged into. You usually people don't do that.
Yeah.
They dig into the poles, right, or like a cement or metal poles, and then build foundation and then build a house on top of it. Usually people don't make the house like that.
So
let's say, right?
Something on a table, right? On a table. Okay, since the table isn't connected to the ground, whatever I build on the table isn't considered as connected to the ground, correct?
Let's leave it for later, because in some senses it will be like you building.
Understood.
Okay, I don't want to go into that because it's not our topic yet. We're going to get to it, but you're right, it's a good example. Okay, so one more time. This prohibition applies whether the structure is attached to the ground. As we said, even if you're in a 3rd floor, right, it's still structure is attached to the ground. Or simply lying upon it. As we said, we have these bricks, and we start, or what they call it, cinder blocks, right? You start like building walls from them and rooms. Okay, that's still building, right? And applies no matter what style of structure and no matter what type of the material is used. Doesn't matter, right? It could be wood, it could be stone, it could be even from plastic. It includes building a wall or a fence, or even placing bricks or rocks around the garden to protect it. So it's not like, you see, I mean, they call it a building, but the melacha of building, it's any structure. Even though, they sometimes they put like a decoration, the bricks one on top of the other, maybe 2 bricks, three bricks, like stones. It's 100% building. I mean, halachically wise. Just 1 second. Or rocks around the garden to protect it. Okay. It is also included in pitching a tent. Okay, even though the tent is a separate melacha, but it could be under this melacha of building also. Okay. All of these structures built upon the ground. Therefore, building them transgresses the melacha. Right. So upon the ground, even though they're not attached, as we said, these bricks, if they like lay on top of the ground as a fence around the garden, so it's only on top, not connected, still melacha of building. All types of landscaping are likewise forbidden. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% positive what they're talking about. What all types of landscaping. I mean, probably working with these like stones, decorative stones, stuff like that. That's the way I understand. Okay, continue. One who builds a structure. So, okay, 1 second. Yaakov. Okay. All right, Baruch Hashem, we have Yaakov with us. Baruch Hashem. So continue. So Yaakov, welcome, and we're doing laws of Shabbos, melacha of building, right? So continue. We're talking about building a structure. One who builds a structure on the ground, like one who engages in some of other forms of building that will be discussed below, transgress the prohibition, even if components of structure are not tightly joined. So you put one block on top of the other. Of course, they're not joined. Usually we put cement, right, to tie them together. Just one on top of the other. He already violated this melacha. All that is necessary for the structure to be assembled, right? So meaning be put together. Even the parts are only loosely joined. Okay, so all right. So even the parts are loosely joined. Continue. See repairing or adding to the structure. Okay, so now, before we said building structure, now we have repairing to the structure or adding to the structure. The simple, like straightforward example, it would be like banging the nail into the wall or putting a screw into the wall. So it is an existing structure and you add something to it. Okay. So number one, repairing a structure. Repairing an existing structure is an act of building and is therefore included in the melacha of building. One example would be the repositing of a beam that has slipped from a proper place. Another would be tightening apart, for example, door that comes loose. Oh, Yaakov again. All right. So that come loose. All right. So basically, let's understand the repairing of the structure. So they're talking about some beam that became loose. I'm not sure, maybe in a barn or something, or somewhere, right? So you would adjust the beam. So 1 second. All right. So, Yaakov, any questions you can ask anytime, just so you know. All right. So second, go ahead. What is it? All right. All right.
Just Jacob.
Jacob. All right, Jacob. Okay. Okay. So second example, as they say, tightening apart. So they give our favorite example of a doorknob. So a doorknob came loose, so you're not allowed to tighten it. So meaning like it's not like you put in there for the first time. It's not sure. It is there, but it is loose. You're not allowed to tie. And I mean, in olden days, I don't know, like in olden days, they have this what is it, the faucets, and the handles of the faucets would come loose, right? So you have to tie it, right? So in this case, it's also not allowed to tie because you tie it to this because faucet is attached to the sink and sink attached to the vanity and vanity attached to the building. So that's why it's not allowed. Number two, adding to a structure. Adding to existing structure is included in melacha of building. Okay. For example, an example would be screwing a doorknob into the door of a house on Shabbat. So now we're talking about this doorknob was not there to begin with, or maybe they replace it, or maybe, I don't know, whatever happened, right? So you're not allowed to put a doorknob on Shabbat. Okay. Even if the item is added, is not necessary to actual structure, but simply as an added benefit, it may not be installed. For example, example of this would be attaching a bookcase to the wall. Okay, so I think it's a good example. So you have this tall bookcase, right? And of course, it's very heavy. And if you don't attach it to the wall, and let's say it's a little on the narrow side, right? So maybe like it's narrow, meaning you can put only one book, right? It's not as deep. So basically, it's not very stable. So the proper way to attach it to the wall. So if you attach it to the wall, it's secure. As they explain here, so it's not like you must attach it. Maybe you don't. You understand? But if you do, so it's going to violate this halakha of building. Torah prohibition. So now we're going into details, adding to a structure. Torah prohibitions.
A garment doesn't count as a structure at all, does it? Let's say I sew a shirt. That doesn't count as repairing a structure, does it?
No, repairing shirt?
Yeah.
No, it's the melacha of sewing, no?
Just yeah. I'm asking if it counts as this too, because
No, it's not. So, but other, I mean, but other things would be like when you have to assemble two components, whatever is it, as to make it one unit, it would be like a building.
But an umbrella, let's say I fixed an umbrella, would that count as repairing a structure?
Fixing an umbrella, I think so. I think so, yes. But umbrella is muktzah. Is umbrella muktzah? I'm not sure if umbrella is muktzah. I said it is, but I'm not 100% sure that if it's a muktzah. I mean, we don't use it on Shabbos for different reasons, right? So okay, let's continue. So we're going into details, adding to a structure. Torah prohibition. We stated above that even if one builds a structure without tightly joining the components, he has still transgressed the biblical prohibition of building. Right, as we said, this is bricks, right? On the ground, he puts one on top of the other. The same holds true with regard to the adding to existing structure. For example, one who loosely screws doorknob into the door on Shabbos has violated the melacha of building. Okay, so he installed this doorknob. 100%, it's biblical, even though it's loose. So the way I understand, even if it's loose, it still can serve the purpose. You can still open the door. I mean, maybe it's not as convenient when it would be like properly screwed, but still you can, for sure you can use it. Just as a prohibition against the building, new structure applies only when it is a permanent structure. So too with a prohibition against building and adding to existing structure, it applies when only adding a permanent as a permanent one. So as we said before, biblical prohibition only when it's permanent. But I would say most of the time that people unless you remember to fix it, like to change it, it would be permanent. Question?
Yeah, let's have a stender, right? Then the top of it, one of the screws goes out, okay? So now I'm leaning my safer on it. Not goes out, but it comes out. It's still screwed into the top.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And so I put my safer on it. I'm leaning on it, whatever. Then it goes back in the spot where it needs to be. Does that violate anything or no?
It's very indirectly. So it was not your intention. I would say no. But if it was your intention, I mean, let's say the way I see this situation you described, right? So you're praying. And you see the screw, right, is coming out. It was not on your mind. You put your safer, whatever, and this safer pushes the screw. I mean, it's very indirect. It was not your intention, so there is no problem, basically.
Why don't we say it's in a vera? Because that's what would likely happen. Not maybe once in a blue moon it might happen. Psikresha.
It's not. I would not say. I would not call it psikresha. Psikresha, it's something that for sure is going to happen. So for those who just join us, I want to explain so guys know, right? So psikresha is as we learned before, is a concept from the Talmud, where it says that a person says, my child is crying, I want to give him a toy to play with. And what do I have? Well, I have a chicken's head, right? But the problem is the chicken is still alive, right? The chicken is running with the head. So I want to give this chicken head to my son to play with, to stop crying, stop being annoying, right? But I don't mean to kill the chicken. So psikresha, the sage's answer, it's impossible to cut off the head without killing the chicken. You understand? So when meaning that something like for sure is going to happen. But here with the screw, maybe it's going to happen, maybe yes, maybe not. So I would not call it psikresha, but of course there is like indirect, but it is violation. I agree with you 100%.
Okay. There's no malacha as destroying something that was already created, is there? Or is there?
Yes, yeah. Of course, demolish it. But it's you're ahead of the game. I think it's the next chapter in 2 chapters. Yeah.
Well, I just want to ask. Let's say every halach that we learn over here. Could I just until we learn that chapter, can I just infer everything over in that chapter is going to be the opposite of what we learn over here, or no?
There are some exceptions, of course. There is some exception to the rule. So meaning what that destruction to destroy something. So it also would need to be for constructive purpose. So you disassemble something to assemble something else. I mean, we're going to speak about it. But all others destruction not for constructive purpose, they would fall, as we know by now, under a rabbinical prohibition. Still forbidden, but under the rabbinical prohibition. You good? Continue? Okay, thank you. So, just 1 second. So, okay. So let me quickly read the last sentence that we say, and we continue. So we said, just as the prohibition against building a new structure applies only when it is permanent structure, so too with the prohibition against adding to an existing structure, it applies only when addition is a permanent one. Continue. Okay, so that's we were talking about biblical prohibition. Now, B, I'm on page 4.6, rabbinic prohibition. Under biblical law, if an object in the object one adds to the structure is entirely unsecure, he has not violated the melacha of building. Okay, we're going to see what they are talking about. The object is not considered part of the structure. Therefore, its addition is not regarded as an act of building. So something that it's not secure, right? It can fall out for any minute, right? So it's not act of the building. Let's see. The sages, however, prohibited even this. They were concerned that the person adding an unsecure object might inevitably secure it. They thereby transgress the Torah prohibition. Thus, by rabbinic law, one is forbidden to insert a doorknob into the door, even if he does not secure it with the screws. Lest he inadvertently come to secure it with screws. So I think it's a good example. So let's say, I'm not sure how many times you guys disassemble the doorknob, but basically it has two parts. For those who do not know, I just quickly explain the 2 parts. One on one side, it has doorknob and like a long pole.
Yeah, right? I just fixed my doorknob like a week ago, actually. I'm not even joking. That's funny.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So basically, so it has one side with like a long screw sticking out, and the second part is just knob. So
it's like
it's like
what's it called? So like the 2 doorknobs, it has threads in it, and then there's like a square thing inside. So like you can move the little lever inside and out, like so when it goes inside the latch.
Exactly. Yes. So technically, so right. So technically, you can use only one part or as for a doorknob, meaning this long one, and technically that's fine, right? It's enough. I mean, it's not convenient, this and that, but technically you can use only one part, right, to open it and close the door, right? So, but our sages say that maybe if he insert only this part, he would be tempted, get annoyed, like it got stuck and stuff like that, to add the second part and actually like screw them securely. So that's what we call the fences around the Torah, right? Our sages say, even though maybe it's not an issue because it's loosely fit and it's not secured, but in our case, so they were afraid that we're going to finish the melachas. They said, don't do it. Okay. So C, cases in which one is permitted to attach object to the structure. Okay, so number one. So of course, as we said before, there are always exceptions to all of the rules. Normal manner of use. The prohibition of adding to a structure does not apply when the object is added whose normal use entail removing it and placing it upon the structure. One who attached such an object has simply performed its function. Okay, we're going to give examples, okay, but has not created anything new. Therefore, he has not violated the melacha of building. An example of this would be replacing a tube that holds the toilet paper, okay, in its holders, that is attached to the wall. Since the tube is meant to be removed and replaced, its replacement is not regarded as adding to the house. So I think it's an amazing example. So just we have this discussion, I think, what is it, last time or last week, about the toilet paper. So we were learning about melacha not cutting for like specific size. So that's why we said it's not allowed to cut the toilet paper and these paper towels on the perforations, right? Because it's precisely cut. So basically, we try never to lose to use the toilet paper roll, right? But is it muktzah? It's not muktzah because we said in some instances, but the person has no choice, he can use this toilet paper. Any questions, somebody? Okay, I thought I heard the click. Okay, sorry. All right. So here's the say. I mean, for example's sake, maybe I would say maybe it's not so practical, but I think for example's sake, I think it's a good example. So you have this toilet paper holder, and you have this like a tube holder, right? And it has spring inside. So basically, you pull the string, you can remove this piece, right? Put the new toilet paper roll and put it back. So they say you're not adding to the structure because that's how this thing was built, right? It's to be taken out and put it back. I think that's a good example. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so already I'm Chas v'shalom doing a malacha of fixing my computer on Shabbos, okay, let's say, right? But I decide, okay, I'm gonna take out the hard drive and put in a different hard drive, okay? Does that count as what it's made for? And so I don't at least violate the malacha?
No. It's no. You see, okay, so what is it? I think it's a good question.
But isn't it like automatically you're not allowed to do it because it's you're not allowed to like just hold stuff that's not meant for Shabbos, like you're not allowed to pick up a rock or something.
Exactly. It's a muktzah, yes. But you're right 100%. But what David is asking like hypothetical example. Let's say, I mean, maybe there are different examples, but let's work with that example. Of course, you're right, Jacob. It's not allowed. It's not allowed to touch it. Forget it to open. Okay. So what is it? But for us to understand, what is the difference between this example of the hard drive and this toilet paper tube, right? So the hard drive, I mean, even though you're right, it's meant to be changed, but not often. Maybe once in a lifetime, maybe never. So me personally, I never changed. Last time I changed hard drive maybe 25 years ago, maybe more. That's in old computers. Now all of the computers never breaks and stuff like that. I mean, and so it's always good. So in some sense, it's like was never made to be replaced. Most of the time, they throw out the computers with hard drive. I mean, they would remove for security purpose to erase it to not to expose your information, but otherwise it's not. But toilet paper, you change every, I don't know, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Right. So that's the difference. But it is 100% melacha of building because you attach it tightly. 100% biblical.
So
forget about muktzah. Muktzah is a yes, but I think this is good example. Yeah, go ahead.
So what you're saying that 1 year, 3 weeks, whatever it is. So would you say, let's say I were to change the toilet paper roll every day, just because I don't know, I wanted a new one, not because that one was empty or whatever. I just wanted. Yeah. You would say at that point it would violate the malach of building or no?
Why is that? Can you explain? I don't understand why.
Because what you said before is that what's it called? It was created. Why? For someone to change it. But as you said, someone usually changes it at every 3 weeks, not every day. It wasn't created to change every day.
I mean, it was created to change as needed.
Yeah,
so
that's up to you. That's up to you whenever you want to change it.
I think so. Let's say, I don't know, like somebody saying somebody works in a hotel, right? I'm just crazy example, right? And he collects all of these like rolls that like only 20% left, right? Well, when you check in the hotel, it's they always give you the whole roll, right? I noticed that, right? Yeah. So, but this unused roll, they go somewhere. So I don't know, maybe they go to the garbage, but this guy can take these rolls home. So basically, he had this I don't know rolls for 1 day use. It's possible, I don't know, 2 days use. So he would change it very often. That's my guess. Go ahead.
Understood. So it never goes by a certain amount of time, just the intention of the person who built it, right?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like, what would be another example? I mean, I would say some kitchen utensil, or for example, you have a knife, like folded knife. So you want to unfold it, and then you fold it back. So I mean, you're not adding to the structure, right? That's how it was designed to be used. Okay. So continue. 1 second. Let me check time. Okay, we have time.
Wait, what if you designed something?
Okay, go ahead.
So like, what if you design something? Like, you just decide it's used like based on like let's say you're the one like invented a light switch or something. Like, can you decide like how often it should be used or whatever? So like the malacha depends on like what you want.
And I would say give me different examples because light switch
it's a better example.
It's a bit controversial. It's not so simple.
Okay, let's say like a doorknob, like you're only supposed to use it like whenever you want to open a door, right? What if you're only allowed to use it like once a week?
You see, it's not how often you use it, but do you have to take it out and then assemble and then use it and then disassemble? Like I'm thinking about this maybe one of the examples. I'm not sure a good example, but like you have folding chairs, right? So you would unfold the chair, use it for Shabbat, then fold it back and put it in your storage room.
Yeah.
So in some sense it was one shape when you took out from your storage from your closet. That then you unfold it and it's a different storage, the different shape, right? So but since it was designed, as you said, right, the designer had in mind that it would be assembled for storage, so it would be a normal way of use to assemble and disassemble.
All right.
But if something was not designed like that, like for example, you want to create a chair, right? So how you want to create a chair? you want to put like I don't know, some bricks, and on top of that you want to put like piece of plywood, and that's going to be a chair. So in this case it would be building.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so continue. Okay, 1 second. Okay, continue. Number 2. So we on the topic cases in which one is permitted to attach object to the structure. So one is normal way of use. Right? Number 2, firmly attachment. Flimsy, I'm sorry, flimsy attachment. So meaning flimsy, meaning not tight. Most poskim rule that one is permitted to permanently hang a curtain to close over an open area, provided that the curtain is not properly secured on top and bottom. Thus, one may hang a curtain from the hooks in the ceiling, so long as he leaves the bottom dangling. The reason is that it is permitted is that the curtain is loosely hanging, flimsy thing that blows in a least wind and cannot prevent people from passing through. This characteristic prevents it from being considered as a part of the structure. Therefore, hanging it on Shabbos cannot be considered act of building. So let's try to understand. So before that, we said that the building meant from any material, whatever, wood or plastic or whatever, and here we say if it's flimsy, so meaning like you have hooks, some hooks in a ceiling, and you attach this curtain, and basically it can be moved from the wind. And if you're going through, you just move, push it away, then you can go through, or you just lift it and go under it. So that's okay. Go ahead.
How is this different than what we said before? And that, let's say, a doorknob, if you just put it in without the screws, 100% you have to call it flimsy. Over there it's a durabunin, but over here it's not a durabunin. What's the difference?
Okay, because it's actually the material of the doorknob is itself a solid material, so you cannot compare to this curtain. You understand? And it's actually solid. I mean, if you close the door, let's say you have the second part is hanging, but it's loose. But you actually if you push the doorknob, even it's not screwed in, so it's tightly in if you push it in. But with this curtain, I mean, it's going back and forth. So basically, this curtain is not is not a wall. And how it's plays a big role when in sukkah, right? So it says in sukkah, when you have sukkah, you have to like bottom, if you have like I have canvas sukkah, so on the bottom it has to be attached to the poles, right? It cannot go back and forth. You understand? That's what we do. We have attached to the poles. Okay.
I assume by not solid, you mean that it changes its volume, like you can squish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So then I have a question like this. Sometimes we have, I don't know, you want to call it a curtain, I don't know, but we have the same things, right? But with beads on them, right? You know, those, like straight with beads. So does that count solid?
What's that? You mean this? The wood ones, or no?
I like they have, you know, in a doorway sometimes, I don't know, into these various restaurants, right? The Chinese restaurant, they have these strings, right?
Yes.
And then on the string they have small crystals, and then you push them to go through them.
Right?
Oh
yeah. So the plastic ones, ones, right?
Correct. So is that solid? Is it not solid?
I think this would be solid, because if they're so thick, so normal wind is not going to move it. Like they say, like not normal. What they call it, like blow in a least wind, and a little blow, it's not going to move. All right. So and then plus it is attached there firmly. So in order for these things to stick, like like overlap with the other, they have to be firmly attached on top.
Mhm.
You understand? So there are multiple reasons why it would not be allowed. Okay. So let's do number 3, and we can stop. And we can open up for questions. So number 3, decorative attachments. Most poskim rule that one is permitted to hang even a permanent decoration on a wall on Shabbos. For example, one may hang a tapestry up on the hooks that were placed in the wall before Shabbos. We view the tapestry not as a part of the wall, but a separate object decorating the wall. So that's, I think it was a good example. So it's not attached to the wall. Well, what is attached to the wall? The hook is attached to the wall. The hook you're not is allowed to install, but decoration. For example, you have a coat, so you can put it on a hook. There is no problem. Even though a hook is attached to the wall, you're not attaching your coat to the wall. That's the thing. Okay. So any questions on any subject? Go ahead, please.
You said any subject.
Any subject. If
Okay,
I
so
don't know, I answer. Okay, go ahead.
It's not related, but like I have a question.
No, we finish. Any subject mean any subject. Whatever is in your mind, speak up, please.
All right. So I was wondering, like, like if like there was a Jew that was like in let's say in another country and there's no Jews nearby, like how would he observe Shabbos? Like, and he didn't know like any of the malachos.
So today, I would say today is much easier to observe Shabbos because you can order books, you can learn online, like classes online, like ours, whatever we do. But it's very hard to be a single Jew in a country, and when we are in a city, right? And when nobody else cares.
Doesn't charge.
All right, thank you.
So, I mean, it would be very hard. And we have one of our friends is actually, it's a good example of that.
Yeah, there's Chabad houses like everywhere.
It's not everywhere. It's not true. I mean, they're in the big cities, but not every Jew would live in a big city.
Yeah. I was saying like they're all over though. Like you could find them in a lot of countries.
In a lot of countries, but it does not mean that they have a minyan to pray.
Oh, that's true.
You understand? They give you food, and for Friday night they might have services and Shabbos morning, but otherwise there is no minyanim. So of course, a Jew cannot be a Jew alone. We are a communal religion. You understand? You have to like many things we have to say only when we have a minyan. For example, we are old men here, right? So we can say only minyan, and it's actually we're discussing the things in our other class where we learn. For example, now we're going through the laws of Shmona Esrei. You understand with all of the details, but to be Jew in another country is very, very tough. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Israel, you're too quiet today. Go ahead.
I have one. I heard about a positive rabbinical commandment of making fun of idolatry.
Correct.
What about people who themselves believe they are gods? Are one allowed to expose them
Of course.
in personal and in general level?
Absolutely. Well, what is the difference? So in this case, the guy, so he does not believe in Yoshke, he does not believe in Buddha, he believes in himself as Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh said, I'm God, I'm created the Nile, I'm created myself. What are you talking about? Yeah.
But what if you like portray it bad? Wouldn't that be like a Hillel HaShem?
Why would be no? You see, if he said he started precisely. He said there is a halacha to make fun of idol worship. So it has nothing to do with Hillel HaShem. So opposite is true. So if you make fun of their religion. So I was talking to that one Christian person. Did I say yesterday? So I talked to.
Yeah, but I'm asking like if you insult somebody and like they think, oh, this is how Jews are like.
I mean, you don't have to like put yourself in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
But among other people who would listen to it, I mean, don't go to the church and or next to the mosque and start insulting. They're going to kill you.
Yeah.
You understand? So don't be stupid. But for example, when we speak about all these things, so we're allowed to make fun.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And not only allowed, but we're obligated to make fun. So we're not allowed to pronounce the names of their gods.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we say Yoshka.
I have another part of this question.
Please go ahead.
So in the other hand, I heard that permissive Lashon Hara only applies to people who are not Shomer Torah and Mitzvot. So does it mean it is allowed to speak Lashon Hara about almost the entire world? There is a third section of this.
No, stop. Okay, let me answer that question because I think it's a very significant question. So I'm laughing because I enjoy a question. It's a very good question. So people who never learned the laws of the Lashon Hara, which we learn as you just noticed, people, guys, Abraham and Jacob who just joined us today. So all of our classes, we start with a small halacha on Lashon Hara, Shmiras Lashon. What is allowed to say, what is not allowed to say. So we spent like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depends on the discussion, right? So many people would say, no, this is Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is translated as for forbidden speech, some like derogatory speech. Derogatory speech, which it is true. So I cannot say about, for example, another Jew that he's greedy, that he's fat, that he's this, he's that he's not smart, because why? Maybe he's going to lose his job because of my comments, right? Or whatever. So it's not allowed, or he's not going to get shidduch. He would not get married because of my comments on his intellect. So absolutely forbidden, right? On one hand. On another hand, it says clearly in the Torah, it's forbidden to make fun or like speak Lashon Hara about your amecha. Who is amecha? Your brother. So, and now sages say, exactly as our friend Israel said, a brother in your Torah and mitzvahs. So if he's a Shomer Shabbos, if he's a Shomer meaning observant, right? The Shomer is a guardian, right? So the Shomer, Torah and mitzvahs, so then he's your brother. Otherwise, he took himself out from being your brother. So, okay. So technically, we're allowed to talk negatively about people who are not observant, technically, but we don't, because it's not for constructive purpose. So
yeah, why would you want
Also,
to?
judgment.
Yeah, also you're not allowed to like pass judgment.
It's not about judge. Even though you're right, it's one of the prohibitions, but you go into details, and I'm trying to give like bigger picture. You're right. Whatever we said, it's correct. So the bigger picture. So we try to bring these people closer. Like it's we don't see these not observant people as our enemies. You understand? Just because they don't observe, then my enemies. No, they're still my brothers and sisters. You understand? Instead of speaking bad about them, we're trying to bring them closer. There are some Rishaim, right? As I saw the video recently, Rabbi, and he thinks that he's a big Hasidic. He's not. And he said there is no punishment. There is no punishment, even though the Torah full of say like many times. Hashem said, if you go and listen to me, yeah, I'm going to reward you. If not, I'm going to punish you. And look, like it's everywhere. And this cloud said there is no punishment. So if a person does not know, if he's went to the public school, he was born not in a religious family. So how does it help you to talk bad about him? Opposite, try to help him. Give him CD, give him a link. Try to bring him to our class, to different classes, to share like good videos, right? So it's not helping. So basically, our goal is to help such a people. But as Rasha like that, so of course you are allowed to make fun of him and call him heretic and stuff like that. And the second reason why we don't speak Lashon Hora about these people, so that they say it. Our sages explain, if you speak like even it is forbidden, it is allowed. Right? Israel said 100%, it is allowed. Nobody argues it, but it's going to become your nature. So why would you waste like? And one point when you speak about somebody that is allowed to speak Lashon Hara, at one point you're going to come to speak of somebody that you're not allowed to speak.
I guess
And
in a
then
way
it-
you could use it like as negative encouragement. Like you'd be like, all right, don't follow HaShem or whatever, and like then they'll just try to follow it like more like psychologically.
You're not allowed to.
I didn't get your question. Could you repeat this?
Like I'm saying, if you're like if there's a non-religious Jew and you're and instead of yelling at them like, oh, why are you not religious, that's gonna like push them away further. Like if you use like reverse psychology, then it might make them like want to be more religious.
Of course. I mean, why? I mean, why? Like, I don't know. Like, I would. My example would be: you have 3-year-old, right? And he did whatever he did, and he broke whatever he. And you start yelling at him. I mean, he's looking like at you, like you crazy. Why you yelling? I was playing with whatever his father's watch that it cost $5,000. So I step on it. So what is the problem, right? So he stepped on many things. You understand? So same as this not religious Jew. You give them information. You give them information and see that Torah is divine. Torah exists and it can be proven scientifically. And let's take from there. You understand? So being upset at somebody, it's not going to help. If it's you, look at them as it's your brother and sister that you're trying to help.
All right, thank you. I understand.
Okay, Israel, did you answer the part number 2?
I have the third and final part of this topic. So,
ahead, please. Okay.
or Noahites who keep the 7 laws are also counting as people who are Shomer Torah and Mitzvot. Thus, permissive Lashon Hara is meant to be careful, even if the person is not Jewish.
Absolutely. Okay, just so you know, I think for Noahites, so for people who do not know, so Noahites are non-Jews who accepted upon themselves to observe 7 Noahide laws, but it's only 7 topics, and these 7 topics they divided into I think 54 other bigger topics on more. So it's not 7, it's much more than 7. And I think if I remember correctly, I could be mistaken, but Lashon Hara is one of them. It's like one of the 613 mitzvahs that we have. One, I just give you one example. It's not to hurt other Jews with words, right? Whatever is it, if you said something hurtful to your mother, right? Let's say it is you transgress the prohibition. First of all, you did not respect your mother, and second of all, that you said the hurtful words. So it's 2 of 613 melachas in one conversation, in one statement. For each statement, so the person is going to be held responsible. Israel, did we answer the question or no?
Almost.
No? No, okay, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, it's only one last thing, because people would say, oh, they are Noahites, even they fulfill the 7 Noahide laws. They are not Jews, so we are allowed to speak about them, but they fulfill the 7 Noahide laws.
Exactly. No. I mean, it's not allowed to speak badly about righteous people. So Noahites who observe 7 laws of Noah, right? And all of the other precepts, as we said, right? So they are on a level of like comparable, like parallel level of observant Jews. So you're not allowed to speak about it against them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay.
Okay.
David, yes.
Yes. So long story short, I'll give you an example. I'll ask the question first and an example.
Okay.
Is it possible to be a teenage mishpah regards to one thing. Because the one thing that I see a lot of people are teenage, but not everything else, not Shabbos, but Gehenna being 12 months. Okay, that's the one thing I see a lot of people being a teenage on. So are they, even if you tell them multiple times, they still won't believe?
11 months.
Judgment. The court case is 11 months, right, Rabbi? Right?
Yeah. Okay. I'll answer later. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Long story short. So the question is, no matter how many times you tell them, because really someone who says such a thing is an epikuris, as we said before, because he doesn't believe we're in punishment. But I don't think it's their fault. Nobody taught them anything. You see what I'm saying? But they keep pushing it. So I don't know.
Okay. So all right. So let's start. So if I miss any detail, just remind me. So first about 11 months. So it's never 11 months. It's the judgment when somebody passes away. So they say the judgment is 12 months for Rishaim and 11 months for righteous people. You understand? So it's judgment. It could be before the Gehinnom starts. Maybe it's plus or minus. So, but it's up to 1 year. The judgment, it's up to 1 year.
Wait, so why do you say Shiva for 11 months?
12 months. Okay. Well, one sec. Let me finish. But I'm going to get to this question also, right?
Rabbi, one thing.
No, one sec, David.
Yeah. By judgment, you mean like a court case, correct? That's what we mean.
Court case.
Yeah,
yes.
not like punishment, not that type of judgment.
No. What's else?
Okay.
I apologize. If I mislead you, so I apologize. Yeah. So it's a court case, right? So when so Gemara says that every person is surrounded by 10,000 of angels who would record everything what he did, and they would write down in the book, right? Date stamps and stuff like that. And then at the end of the day, they're going to show him what he did, what you said, how you abuse your brother, your mother, your wife, you whatever, and you cheat this guy, that guy, and then that person's like, me cheated? No. Say you know in this year, this day, and this hour that you cheated, and that is why when the time came, right? I think it's in 1800s when they invented cinema, right? The movies. So they came to Chafetz Chaim and asked Rabbi, why they invented the cinema only now? What is the nafkamina? Why is now? And he said very interestingly. So he said the level of the people fell very, very low, right? Of people of observance. They start leaning more than like modern side, right? So, and people forget that when you tell them 10,000 angels are walking behind you and they're going to play you back whatever you did. So people, Rabbi, I went to university. I know how the atom works and how this formula, that formula, and now we have planes. Now we have cars. So stop with this angel stuff, right? So HaShem sent it. So HaShem allowed to people to invent cinema. So now we see even people can record your actions, your words, and play it like 100 years after that, like any time after that, and you would not be able to say no, I did not do it. So, and this judgment of 12 months, right, is actually what they're going to play back, and they're going to ask you why did you do that? And the most painful question we learned in my morning class of in my morning class, right? So the question was, what is the hardest question that they going to ask per person when he dies? And the rabbi answered. So they're going to ask him why he did not learn Torah, because in the morning we say that and Torah is a comparable to all of the mitzvahs combined. So if you knew that, how you did not learn Torah every second of your life? How come you play video games? How come you went, I don't know, bowling or whatever you went? How come? And all this judgment takes up to 12 months, but they say for righteous people, since they did not have as many sins, so they say 11 months. So, for example, it's lo leino, not upon us. If somebody loses somebody, like a child loses his parent, so he's supposed to say Kaddish, right? Special prayer for Kaddish for 11 months, not 12. 11 meaning what? That he believes that his parent was actually righteous, and then on the 12th month, like on the anniversary of the passing, so you say Kaddish one more time. So, but it's only for judgment. So basically, when you want to help your parent for this duration of the judgment, you say this Kaddish and you do any other mitzvahs. Okay. Second question was from Jacob about the mourning period for 1 year, or what was it? Please remind me.
11 months.
11 months. So it's not 11 months. It depends on which relative. So, for example, we say if it's a wife or a husband, right? So since the relations are so close, or a sister or brother, it's 30 days, right? So and 12 months, not 11. It's never 11 months. And 12 months is, as I said, is for parents, because unfortunately, very unfortunately, if law lane on not on us, not on our close ones, right? But when Chas v'Shalom, right, when parent loses a child, he does not need all the reminders, right? Chas v'Shalom, it's the biggest punishment when parent loses a child, right? The child dies. So he does not need the reminder that the child is not there. His mourning is always there. Some parent cannot get over this mourning, and 20 years past the passing. Yeah, you understand? But children usually not as attached to their parents, so that's why they need to say this, to be in a state of the mourning for 12 months. Okay, go ahead. Any David, I apologize. So we started with your question.
Yeah. So Tinik Shnishba, about the Tinik Shnishba, is this person who is a Tinik Shnishba, does he count as a Tinik Shnishba for this thing that's complete epicursum that Ganem is 12 months?
Okay. So now we're going to the definition. So let me give a little bigger picture, right? So who is a Tinik Shnishba? So it's very simple. Our rabbis say somebody who never knew the Jewish people. So it's kidnapped person. They kidnapped person. So it was a little boy. Let's say he was playing outside of his house, and some gypsy were coming by. They snatched the boy and ran away. So and they raised him. And now they said, you're such an annoying guy, and you Jews cannot work. You cannot steal horses. You're not a good thief. So go back to your family. So we stole you from this village. Go. This is your house. And he comes and they Moishele, we love okay, we almost gave up for it. Okay, so he comes back. So basically for 17 years of his life, he did not do any mitzvahs, and he did not know that he's Jewish. He thought that he's as gypsy as everybody else. He looked a little different, but basically. So he knows exactly zero, and he did not know all of the 17 years. He did not know that they're Jewish people. He did not know that he's a Jew, and he did not know that Jewish people got the Torah, right? And he did not know that they have to observe the Torah. Okay, that's the definition of Tinik Hanishbo. So tell me if you personally know anybody, that person who never knew that he's a Jew, right? That the Jewish people got the Torah and they actually absorbed the Torah. So if you know such a person, of course, yeah. And I mean, there are such a people who never knew that they're Jewish. Like our friend Israel told us in Latin America, right? Many people who ran after Holocaust or from pogroms or from Inquisition in the 17th century, 16th century, and they got assimilated, but because the Judaism goes by the mother, so it could be mother have daughters. So this guy, maybe he even seventh or whatever 10th generations, but he's a Jew 100%. He did not know, so he's Tinik 100%. Yes, but because he was never told. But otherwise, like he thought that he's Jose all his life, right? So this is a good example. But people who live, I don't know, like in New York, in Toronto, in Florida, here they see all of the Jewish community, and the guy had this Magen David like this big. So and he said that I don't agree with one thing. So our rabbis say, so if person disagree with one thing, and he does it constantly, he cannot be counted as a minyan. Who said it, Rambam? And he said it could be even some like smaller things, not like a big, huge things like the denying gay no, right? Which is said we have many proofs. Like they give this example when he shaves with a razor. When person shaves with a razor, and as we understand, people who shave, they shave, I don't know, every day, every 2 days, so pretty much constantly. So he's 100% apikoris, cannot count him as a part of the minyan because he denied one halach, right? And our sages said the biblical commandment is, even if he denies one word of Torah, he said in this Sefer Torah, this yud, this smallest letter is extra. He's apikoris. So to summarize, to answer to be apikoris in one, so it's the guy what is the expression? He's ignorant by choice. You understand? So if they give you sources, your obligation, as Rabbi Reuven always say, I give you the source. Go check. Go. Do not rely on me, right? Go check. Learn deeper. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was trying to mislead you, but B'ezrat Hashem, I mean, he never mislead anybody, and his sources are always shown. So, and all the clowns like this that I saw yesterday, I was vomited when he's fluctuating his voice, this and up and down, and say, oh, you're good, even though you don't keep Shabbos and this and that, you're not going to go to Gehinom, you go, I don't know what he goes. It says clear in Torah many times, I think 12 times, if you're in a rewritten Torah, if you don't observe Shabbos, your soul is going to get chorus. Chorus means it's going to be cut from this life and life in the next world. I mean, people don't read. I'm not sure. So all of these statements are for ignorant people. I mean, it's not even ignorant. For me, it's stupid people. Because they chose to be stupid. Okay, go ahead. Did I answer the question or no?
Yes, but one more thing. What if he's like brainwashed pretty much by the other Jews who believe that? Like, because the frumest of frum Jews could believe such a thing, right? And it's because everybody else believes it.
No. The Jews who look from. Not, they're not. If they deny that, look from. Okay. Right. Just correction. Yeah, go ahead, please, go ahead.
Yes, so because all these Jews, right, in this community, so on and so forth, right, they all believe it. So he's brainwashed. So he pretty much is tinnicked by other Jews, no?
This argument, you're right. In his mind, that's the argument in all of these people's mind. You're right, 100%. But the question is it going to if this argument is going to stand in the courts of heaven? Are they going to accept this argument? You see, they gave him brain, right? And I was talking to this big programmer, top programmer, and he said, no, but I don't not know. I said, you're top guy. You're such a good brain. You cannot watch one video that essential. Just draw your own conclusions. If Torah is true or not true. You understand? So the HaShem is going to say, oh, you use this big brain to be this big computer programmer, and you never investigated my Torah, even though people approach you and they ask you and they give you information. He's liable. Like he was drinking poison. For example, somebody comes to you and say they add this chemical to Coca-Cola, and if you drink, you're going to get brain cancer. Let's say, and you say, I like Coca-Cola, I'm going to drink it. After 3 months, this guy comes to the doctor. The doctor say, thank you very much for meeting you. Unfortunately, you're not going to be my patient for a long time because why? You have about 10 days to live. I apologize. By the way, have you ever drank Coca-Cola? Said, my favorite drink. You're out. Guess what? You're out. Why? Because you're stupid. So can you fix it? You cannot fix it because of our stupidity. Yeah. You understand? And people die because their own mistakes. Nobody dies because it says 99% of the people die of their own sin, and one die of old age. Okay, go ahead.
Understood. But so this person, we can still term him an Epicurus. Understood. Okay. Thank you.
But in not in Epicurus that you have to go like all the way against him. Maybe you can ask like still count him as a minyan in some cases, but basically, I mean, people are stubborn because they want, like they have these physical desires. So I give you a big picture why people would sin, right? If you tell me something that is true and it's easily to confirm, maybe I don't like it, right? But if it's true, why people would not follow, right? What is the reason to do? So they have some desires that hold them back.
I understand. What's it called? What if he has smicha, rabbi, so on and so forth? Then we say Epicurus, right? Because he has so much knowledge, he should know. Correct?
Maybe. Okay. So about the smicha stuff. So people say smicha. Do you have smicha? You don't have. From where do you have smicha? So Rambam said many 150 years ago. Today there is no smicha. Period. There is no smicha. So they call it smicha. They call it the same word, but it's not what they meant in the Talmud when they had smicha, because there's no unbroken chain from Moshe Rabbeinu and stuff like that. We suspect maybe this, maybe that, but basically not. Okay. So this person to get the smicha is very simple. I don't know if you know that, and the simple smicha to get is to be a shoichet. You understand? You take a course like 3 months, whatever, 4 months, 5 months. You pass the test, and then you get the smicha. So there is no smicha, for example, to teach people. Maybe there is a smicha to get to do the divorces and stuff. You have to be expert to do divorces and weddings. Not so much, but some other like difficult things to make giyurim. But otherwise, basically, you didn't speak. But that person, yes, he should have known. What is the problem with that person? The problem, big picture, like if everybody is ego. The guy, like I have this conversation every few days. Somebody would start arguing, and I said, well, one second. Can I ask you? He said, yeah. The guy is excited. I said, have you ever read Torah? Yeah, I read. I said, tell me which part. No, I read Torah. I said, tell me one part, like what, name of the book. Nobody knows name of the book. No, nobody, and still they arguing with me. I say, I learn Torah like every day, many hours, very, very deep. I'll listen to the lectures. You know exactly zero. Why are you arguing with me? Like, what is the purpose? You understand? As like this famous example of what all rabbis give. Like it's in the middle of the surgery, and people neurosurgery they do operate on a brain. The door opens and the guy comes. He said, "No, you're all wrong. That's not how you do surgery." Whoa, maybe not. But who are you? Are you a doctor? I'm not a doctor. You have degree. I don't have. So how do you know? I saw the soap opera. There was a doctor, and he said you have to from the left side. You know who's going to listen to you, and then people like that because of the ego, like in their desires, they say stupid things, and that's what we have to deal with, basically.
Understood. Okay.
Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. So let me stop recording now. 1 second.
אני מברך את הרבי, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית.
חזק אותו בשביל.
קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.